Right, so I've reached a decision when it comes to my TCR. If you want something done right, just do it yourself.
I fixed it all by myself.
And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing on this video. I'm going to be rebuilding the engine on my TCR.
That's nice, boy. That's nice. That's nice.
Since last time we hit the dust and we bought a new engine, and the engine that we put in the car had a big bearing knock. So over here we're going to be installing a Golf R line engine on the TCR. So come along, let's see how this thing goes. This is my Golf 7.5 TCR that we got for a steal at an auction. In the last video, we attempted to bring this TCR back to life. We assessed the engine and found that the damage on the engine was really bad. So we attempted to fit a brand new engine, but to our surprise, we were met by some catastrophic results. We unfortunately found out that the new engine we were supplied was not in the best condition or engineered to the best of its capabilities. The engine we were supplied had a bearing knock. Alright, so behind me is my Golf 7 TCR that I got from an auction, and so far things have not been going my way with regards to this rebuild. So number one, we got this car from an auction, and when we did get this car from an auction, we found that the engine is completely toasted. So now, since my engine had a bearing knock that we were supplied, I've came up with another idea to just put a Golf 7R engine on my TCR. So that is what I am planning to do on this TCR. So let's go source this engine that we're going to put. So now we're going to be installing a CJX onto the VW TCR that belongs to a Golf 7R line. So let's go get this engine and let's recondition it. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a CJX Golf 7.5 R-line engine. This engine was actually changed from a vehicle that had came to our workshop because it had low power. So now I will be attempting to remove the cylinder head and strip this engine bare to see what was the problem. Alright, so right in front of me over here is a Golf 7R CJX engine, head block and sump, and this is what we're going to be using for our VW TCR. So now what we're actually going to be doing is fully reconditioning this engine, since a new engine let us down, and I do not want to waste any more time by maybe trying to get another new engine, because let's say we do get another engine, and us getting another engine, we end up having to remove that engine again because of some issue. Yes, I understand it's a new engine, but factory faults, that like 1 in every 10 thing type of thing happened to us with the TCR the last time. So I have figured last night when I was thinking is that if you want something done right, you must just do it yourself. So this engine, let's get it stripped, and I'm going to be walking you through everything. For us to successfully strip and assess this engine, the first thing we have to remove is the vehicle's hydraulic lifters. And then once the hydraulic lifters have been successfully removed, we can start removing the cylinder head bolts so that we can remove the cylinder head from the block. Alright, now that all of the bolts are out, let's remove the cylinder head. Alright, it looks like the cylinder head is finally out now. And it looks like on this engine it's been worked on before. So this engine has definitely been worked on before, because this head gasket has got something that's called shellac. It's what you use to, if you're going to be reusing an old head gasket, it's a spray that you put on the head gasket just so that nothing leaks out of the head gasket and no fluid leaks, as well as no compression gas leaks. So it's more of like a silicone, but for the head gasket itself. So this has been opened before, but let's see what we find. Right, so this is our cylinder head. Straight off the bat, I can't see any like physical damage on the cylinder head itself. And this is actually one of the reasons why I don't like that chemical shellac, because sometimes it will close up the water holes and oil galleries and the coolant galleries. As you can see, like some of them are really bad, right? Yeah, some of them are quite bad, so that's why I don't recommend to use that thing. After close assessment, this cylinder head that belongs to the Golf 7.5 R line didn't need any engineering or any repairs. I was happy with the overall condition of the cylinder head. Alright, so I don't see any major damage on the cylinder head. The cylinder head looks good. I think it can be reconditioned. This is ready to use. Everything is good. It's not over skimmed. Everything is good on the cylinder head. So we'll just see how goes it with the block. Let's check out the block. Since our cylinder head is looking good, the problem might be on the block. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna inspect our engine block and see if we can't see what was causing the misfire on the vehicle. Let's turn the engine to TDC and inspect all of our pistons. Alright, so I've noticed something like straight off the bat. One thing I noticed is that when the engine is turning, the pistons don't actually go all the way up to top dead center. They end up leaving maybe like a gap this small, and that is a problem. Yeah, it shouldn't be doing this. A piston should go to top dead center and be at the same level as the block itself. So let me show you. Alright, so this is our block. Let's remove the head gasket so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is our cylinder head gasket. That's out of the way now. That can't be reused. So this is cylinder 1. If you look at cylinder 1 right here as well, it's got a very nasty break. So this is something that can cause the engine to have a misfire and not have sufficient power. So let's turn this engine. So while you turn, this needs to be prone up. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that this piston doesn't actually go to top dead center. All right, let's turn this engine so you can see how high this pistons goes. So right now we're turning. That's supposed to be TDC in the middle. Let's turn the first one. Okay, cool. So number 1 is at TDC now, and as you can see, there's a very big gap between the surface of the block and the piston crown itself. There's like a big. This will limit the power that you get in the vehicle. So this is not good. We need to see what's causing this. So what will normally cause this, you can see like how low it is from top dead center. It's very low. Also, this is what you call piston flap. So these pistons are no good as well. These need to be replaced. We'll have to change all 4 pistons and also change the conrods. So what will actually cause this gap is if you use the wrong or incorrect conrods for the block itself. So it won't allow you to reach top dead center. Now that we have identified the issue on the block, it is time for us to start stripping the block of this vehicle and assess the conrods. The conrods are the main culprit of these pistons not reaching top dead center. If your pistons are not reaching top dead center, you will experience a loss of power and poor engine performance. In order for us to successfully get to the pistons, we need to remove the lower engine sump first. Then we need to remove the lower engine sump guard, which is held by one T30. As soon as that's removed, you can now successfully remove the cover. Right, the sump is finally out, and I think on this one we might open another can of worms because straight off the bat the oil pump has got all incorrect bolts and nuts. So yeah, it's supposed to be T40s or T45s, and it's got M10s and Allen keys. Alright, that's the oil pump coming out now. Push. So this won't come out because we need to remove the crank pulley and everything else that is in the way. Okay, so as you can see, this is not going to come out. We need to remove the crank pulley first. In order for us to successfully remove the crank pulley so that the oil pump can be able to come out, I had to make a plan and lock the flywheel bolts in the back so that we could be able to lock the engine and be able to remove the crank pulley bolt successfully. With the crank pulley bolts successfully removed, now we can turn over the engine so we can remove the front lower timing cover so that we can access the timing chain and remove it. Once your lower timing chain cover is removed, it should look a little bit something like this. Next, you're going to have to remove all of the timing guides and the timing chains so that you can be able to remove the lower oil pump as well as the crank gear. With all of the timing chains and the guides successfully removed, we can now focus on removing the conrods and pistons. In order for us to get to the conrods and pistons, we have to remove this lower upper sump, which is also held by multiple Torx bolts. You just need to be patient because these are very sensitive aluminum bolts. Once all of your bolts are out, all you need to do is just pry out the lower upper sump and you will now have access to the pistons and the connecting rods. Alright, big progress on this block. Now we're just gonna remove the main bearing, the big ends and the main bearing caps, just to see if the crank is still standard, because if it's not standard I'm not gonna be using it. So yeah, let's see if everything is still good. Right. Let's remove these conrods and see how bad is it. Some of these bolts are like really crossed, so I think we might have an issue removing them. So once your conrod bolts are out, you just need to be careful the piston doesn't fall off the other side. All right, so that's our conrod big end bearing out. Let's check the size and see if it's still standard. So first things first, this has got the original stamp, VW and Audi stamp. Yeah, STD. So STD will mean that the crank is still standard. So this block has got a standard crank, which is something good. So now let's check the main bearings if they are also still standard. Next on the agenda, let's get one of the main bearings removed just to see if that is also standard, because remember, if it's not standard we're not going to use this block. So these are normally like quite tight, so yeah, using a power bar can actually help. Yeah. Alright, cool. So it's loose now. Once it's loose, we can just use our gun, take out the bolts. Alright, that's the first main bearing out. Let's check out the bearing now. Let's go into the light. In order to identify which one it is, it's also quite important to just clean it up first. Alright, let's have a look. So after cleaning, I've noticed that we still have the original VW stamp. Now all we need to see is the STD sign, which stands for standard size, and it looks like our mains aren't standard anymore, but I think we'll just confirm with the engineers or something. Yeah, but I don't see a standard size. I think the mains have been like grinded down. All right, let's see. All right, now that I've seen what I need for this Golf 7R block, I think it's time we turn our attention back to the TCR and try and get the engine removed. So let's remove the engine on the TCR. So I have decided that I am no longer gonna bore you with how to remove an engine on a GTI. I have done that plenty of times. Helping me remove this engine is our favorite Rasta man, Sanele. So he's removing the engine, and as you've seen, the fan is always something that comes out first, just so that you can have enough space to remove on your GTI or R line. And as I always say, fixing GTIs is not rocket science. All you have to do is just apply yourself and be a little bit patient. Sanele knows how to remove these engines because he's done it couple of times. And you guys should exactly know too how to remove these engines because you'll have watched these videos too many times. Alright, Sanele has removed most of the stuff now on the car. So what we're going to do is remove the engine once again on this TCR. A lot of work because of one faulty engine. So let's get this engine removed out. Everything has been taken out, from the wiring to the pipes to the fan to everything. Let's get this engine removed once again on the TCR. With all of the connecting pipes and wiring removed, we can now successfully and cautiously remove the engine out. As I always state, you can remove this engine in a lot of different ways. You can remove it from the front, from the top, from the back, from the under, anyhow, whichever way that you are comfortable with. Let's get this engine removed and let's see what we do with our new TCR. Alright, and just like that, the engine is removed for the second time. Thanks to Sanele for the big help. Yeah, that's our engine again, our brand new engine removed from the TCR. Hopefully now when we put our new engine onto the vehicle, our other engine that we're going to be getting, that we're currently busy with, I hope that it'll be the last time we're fitting an engine onto this TCR. Alright, let's go. Right, the assessment of this Golf 7R engine has been a success. I've seen what we need to get, which is new conrods and everything. But while I'm still busy with this thing, I just got a special delivery from our supplier that supplied us our previous engine. So my supplier has apologized profusely for supplying us that engine. It was also out of his control because they buy these engines from their suppliers overseas and they don't know whether it's going to work or not. So they've supplied us with another engine over here. Now, it is a lot of hours and a lot of labor to get this engine removed and installed on this engine. And I really don't know what to do, whether I should just install this new engine onto the vehicle and leave the Golf 7R engine. Right now, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. But I have made another, I would say, another, what's the word? I've came up with another solution for this TCR rebuild. I do want a Golf 7R engine in this engine bay. So what I was actually thinking of doing, we are going to be putting upgraded parts onto this block of the Golf 7R line. So we're going to put forged parts, make it nice and strong, and just soup up that engine. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to install this engine into the TCR. That's our old engine, and that engine has been removed. That's our old one that we got from our supplier that's got a bearing knock. So we're actually thinking of removing everything from there and putting onto this new engine right here. That's exactly what we're going to do. And then in the meantime, what I'll be doing is rebuilding the Golf 7R engine. I'm going to be rebuilding it and making it top notch. And then as time progresses and as time goes on, that's the engine I'm going to have fitted onto the TCR. Maybe the TCR can just be a Mambo Repairs gapping machine. I don't know. Comment down below. That's the idea that I had in mind with regards to this TCR is to rebuild that engine for the R line, rebuild it, put some forged parts, some parts that can take some big abuse, and once that's done, fit it onto the TCR. Let me know if that is a good idea. But in the meantime, what I'm actually going to be doing is rebuilding this engine. We're going to put all of our hanging parts onto this engine, and hopefully I'm going to cross my fingers that we do not get another bearing knock or any other shady stuff with this engine. If that happens, I'm done with these new engines. What we're actually going to do is we're just going to focus on our R-line engine, and we're going to put our forged parts and get the engine into the vehicle. Well, here we go again. Another brand new engine for our TCR. Will it run? Will it also have a bearing knock? Let me just give you a highlight. This engine is big trouble. And I should have just listened to my gut feeling and just installed the Golf 7R engine. Alright, so behind me is our setup, our old engine versus our new engine. I don't want to bore you guys with reinstalling all of this again. I know you guys have watched that, so let's do a quick time lapse of reassembling everything onto our new engine for the TCR. Hopefully everything goes to plan this time. Let's go. So again, we got the three musketeers working on the car. Sanele's pair and Banashe. We're trying to get it out of the shop and running again. These guys must be tired, but they got their cool drink last time we were working on the car. Today it's during working hours. There's no cool drink. Alright, the engine is almost done at the moment. Got the gearbox left on the other one. Yeah, almost there. Let's go. Right, some progress. Now engine is off of the stand, putting on the final bits and bobs, like the bearings and the dowels for the gearbox, so that the gearbox can fit onto the new engine. That's fine. What you doing here? It's already in.
Yeah, pilot bearing.
Pilot bearing. So these engines come with no pilot bearing, so we install a new pilot bearing onto the crank. Panash is gonna tell us what happens if you don't put a pilot bearing. Panash, what happens if you don't put the pilot bearing?
There'll be vibration on the gearbox.
You heard that? If you got a vibration on the gearbox, probably your pilot bearing is missing or it's gone. With most of the parts now installed, all that's left for us to do is install the gearbox and put the engine back into the TCR. Let's get it done. So this is the old engine that had the bearing knock. That one has been removed. That one has been removed from this is the one that was removed from the engine, and this is the one that has a bearing knock. All of this red residue you guys see is all grease. So my experience with these cars, it's always good to grease up all of your rubber parts just so that they don't stick onto the engine when the engine is hot. So we also use high heat resistant lubricants when we're putting on the grease for all of the rubber seals on the vehicle. So it helps us in the future if you're doing any maintenance on the vehicle, because look at this, when we were stripping this one, we didn't damage anything simply because we lubricated most of the parts. So that's where that helps us. Right, engine is complete now. Gearbox is on, everything is on, everything is on Nandi there. Let's get it in the car. So this time around we're not going to make the same mistake we made last time of just putting everything on, drive shafts, covers, everything. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to put the engine on, put all of the coolant pipes on, all of the boost pressure pipes on, air duct pipes, wiring, everything. We're going to plug in everything, but not finish off the car in terms of putting the drive shafts. We want to run the car at least for a good 20 minutes or 30 minutes and see if it is good, if the engine we got this time around is good. If it is good, then we're going to close up the car and start testing it. All right, let's go. And just like that, we are now done assembling everything here, from the wiring to the pipes to the intercooler boost pressure pipes. Let's try and see if this engine runs perfectly. All right, so we didn't install all of the other stuff, which is the hanging parts for the bottom. Everything that's installed currently is strictly for the car to run and for us to test it to see if it at least holds proper idle for at least 20 minutes. So let's get it started and let's see what happens. Alright, the engine is now fitted on the VW TCR. I'm excited about that, but nothing on this build came as a surprise, and that's because I used Car Vertical. Car Vertical is a user-friendly platform that helps you check the vehicle's history, the vehicle's true mileage, and whether the vehicle has been involved in an accident before when you get the vehicle's history check. It also tells you as well if the vehicle has been stolen before. On our history check of this VW TCR, we were able to see that this vehicle has never been stolen before. However, there is one report that this vehicle does have a partial burn. That is also something that we also knew about. You can also take full advantage of Car Vertical's user-friendly platform and also get a 20% discount by using our promo code, which is Mambo20. So simply go down to the link in the description, which is our Car Vertical link, and click on that link and use our promo code, which is Mambo20, and get yourself a 20% discount on your next Car Vertical check. So just like before, we're going to crank the car just to build up oil pressure and fuel pressure. And then our pull up should be there, the key should be there. Once we've built up enough oil pressure and fuel pressure, then we'll plug in the computer box and try and see what happens if the car starts or whatnot. Water's in, battery's in. Sanele, what's left?
Start the car.
Start the car. All right, this time I'm not gonna start the car. Maybe I'm the one with the bad luck. So Sanele is gonna do the honors this time, being that he's been with us the longest. So we'll see if I'm the one with the bad luck or he's the one with the bad luck. Right. So the key was missing. Found the spare key. Let's get it plugged in. Let's see what happens if these guys did anything good. So we're busy cranking the engine and we're hearing something in the engine as well on this one. I hope it doesn't have a knock. Is it plugged in now? Yeah. Alright, let's start it up. Let's see if it runs properly this time. Start again. There's something that's leaking here. Right, we have what? Reset the fault. Let's try again. Why it's not loud like before? You remember last time the exhaust was loud? Huh? Cylinder 2 misfire. So we got a car's running now, holding idle, but it's saying cylinder 2's got a misfire, so just gonna check that out because our engine light is flashing. So let's check that out quickly. That cold pack is changed on cylinder 2. Let's see if it runs this time properly and no flashing engine light. Right, start. Backfire like that, not timing. third startup after we changed the coil pack. Seems to be running smooth for now. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully everything's gonna be smooth. Maybe Saturday is our lucky charm. You see, we had a misfire on cylinder 2. We changed the coil pack. Hopefully now there's nothing. So we got a couple of faults there, airbag lights, steering control, traction, but all of those lights go off once the car is rolling and the car's on the road. It sounds really smooth right now. I actually don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, we'll see. Rev again. Right. And just like that, with the TCR running in the back, this marks the end of today's video. So on the next one, we're gonna be finishing up the car totally in terms of putting on the drive shafts, everything, the covers, everything, and take this car on the road and see if this engine won't just die on us on the road. So I've got my fingers crossed. For now, the car is idling perfectly behind me. Let me know what you think about everything, this build. Yeah, so we almost quit, and us quitting on this new engine that we had got from the supplier, we wouldn't have a running TCR at the moment. All right, see you on the next one, and remember, don't hate, congratulate. Tango. So yeah, this was supposed to be the end of the video. So as soon as this car got to operating temperature, let me show you what happened. Start it. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. After getting this surprise bearing knock from, again, a new engine, this definitely came as a surprise. So I decided to call my cameraman to come and get some footage of what was going on so that we could have an explanation for you guys. But what happened next is something that I have never seen in my over 10 years fixing cars.
Go inside. That's all 2000. How far now? Just punch it once. Why it's not knocking now? It was knocking.
Yeah. Somehow, for some odd reason, the bearing knock just disappeared into thin air. This, in my over 10 years experience, has never happened before, and I do not know how to explain this to somebody else. I even sent an angry video to my supplier telling him that his engine was faulty. It started there. Second one, there's your old one there. Right, switch it off.
Maybe that one was also gonna keep quiet. that other engine.
So how does a bearing not just disappear?
It didn't disappear. Come back. Huh? Open it a little bit. I switch it off to check it in the morning. This guy has demons, that's all I can say. Huh? You don't think so? It's got demons. How does a bearing knock disappear, Bob? Bearing knock, it can't disappear. You know, let's go home, let's sleep, we'll see tomorrow. After that truly shocking moment of the bearing knock just extremely disappearing into thin air, I decided to test drive this car with my cameraman and see whether something happens. Why didn't you just stay behind?
Why didn't I just stay behind?
Yeah.
I want to feel the power of the TCR.
I think maybe let's first be smart about this and like
take
test
it
drive it
easy,
in the
yeah.
complex first, yeah.
Before
we go on the road. Because remember the Kia Cerato,
Oh shucks.
how we struggled with that.
And then we said we're never gonna test drive at night.
At night, and we're doing exactly that, guys. Okay. Pretty loud. Oh, Mambo's got a TCR. So no knocking noises yet.
Oh.
What's that?
Oh, it's
your
seatbelt.
Your seatbelt. And oh, it's loud. Are pops and bangs like stock standard on these cars or what?
I don't think so.
The engine sounds really good for an engine that had a bearing knock. Alright, we're going on the road now. It didn't fail at the complex. So let's see, check it out. Please, can this nothing go wrong? Let's punch it. Yeah, boy, yes! Oh, yeah, boy, yes! That, put it on sport mode.
Maybe do a launch?
Launch! We can you engine. You only live once, guys. I'm launching this thing. Traction control off. Yeah. Launching, Baba. Ooh. Oh. Oh. It's the one, boy. It's the one.
Woo!
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear the launch?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is the one, boy. Launch it again. Ooh, that was proper.
I think the bearing knock's back.
What? No.
I'm joking.
No. Sheesh.
This thing is a beast. Woo!
That's nice, boy. That's nice. That's nice. Alright? Nothing exploded. Oh, this thing sounds proper, bruh. I fixed it! All by myself!
I think Panache and Sanele will have something to say about
that. I can't get credit. All by myself. I'm a big boy. I fixed this TCR. Is the lighting good there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what's that smoke?
Nice. No, that's just like
Oil.
Oil burning on the exhaust from when the car, I think previously let's do a launch inside the workshop.
Let me jump out.
And just like that, hours and hours that we have spent on this TCR working on it have finally paid off. This TCR, for now, might just be repaired. I cannot give you a definite answer as to why did our engine knock just disappear miraculously. If you by any chance know how something like this just happens out of the blue, please comment down below and let me know. And on the next video, something strange happens. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and also leave a comment down below to let us know what you think about this very stressful project. And remember, don't hate, congratulate.
So, how's it guys? So sorry to be making a video this morning. So something happened yesterday, right after we pushed the TCR to the limits. Yeah, I think we had way too much fun with the TCR, launching it over like 5 times. Well, not 5 times, now I'm exaggerating. I think we launched the car about 3 to 4 times, like driving it really hard with the new engine. Something happened yesterday.